Okay, cool. I think we're rolling here. I'm gonna pull up Facebook and hopefully I'll be able to catch everybody's comments and see who all is here. Yeah, it looks like I am live and in action. That is good. Well, good morning again. My name is Eli. I'm the director of worship here at Summit Church. Um, yeah, it's good to be with you on this Wednesday morning for our Worship Wednesday this week. Yeah, and our daily devotion time. This has been a cool time for me. I know I enjoy just getting to take some time in the middle of the week, but also, to just kind of sit down with a guitar in the living room. It'd be great if we could have a handful of people with a guitar in a living room, but we'll get there eventually. I know, but it's just a really great space for me. So, yeah, so grateful to be with y'all. Grateful to have the chance to do this together. Um, well, hey, some good mornings are in order. Good morning, Scott. How you doing, man? Um, Good morning, Joe and Cheryl. Good morning, Raymond and Luann. Um, and I'm sure there are many more. Actually, I know there aren't that many more, but that's all right. Um, yeah. So anyway, here we are. We're in our Enneagram series, and this week we're looking at the Enneagram Type Five, which is near and dear to my heart because, as I've mentioned before, I that's my core style. My home base for me is Type Five, and approaching growth through the lens of what the Enneagram has to offer has been a helpful thing for me over the last several years. Um, so yeah, so I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for what Morgan shared this past weekend, and for Morgan and Celia over the last couple days in our daily devotions. Let's take a look real quick at our memory verse for this week. It comes from James chapter 1 verse 5. It reads, "If any of you is lacking wisdom, ask God who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given you." Which is a wonderful reminder. One, that God is a generous God, but also that wisdom is something that God is generous with. Um, so yeah, and that's something that's of high value to people like me, people with number five as their kind of core style, as it were. Um, hey, good morning, Mary. Well, I've got a couple songs for us today, and the first one I know I've done on here before, maybe once or twice. Um, but really, the songs that I picked today have more to do with, every Enneagram type. There are, and this is true of any, not just Enneagrams, but just personalities in general. There are things about our personalities, things about every one of us that are like we are a wonderful gift to the world. God has given us as a gift to one another. But we all, as we well know, we all also have plenty of ways in which we can grow. Plenty of things about our personality are incredible assets and incredible gifts to the world. But there are also things about those personalities that kind of the flip side of it is something that, if we're not intentional, it can hold us back. It can be something that, a growth opportunity. And one of the places for an Enneagram 5 to experience growth is in the place of generosity. And really for the Enneagram 5, the kind of core place where that happens is generosity of heart. Um, and so I know oftentimes when we think about generosity, we think about stuff or we think about money. Um, uh, and those are true things and those are really valuable ways to think about generosity. But when it comes to the growth for an Enneagram 5, it has more to do with being open-hearted, with being vulnerable with people, with letting people into our worlds, letting people into our lives. And so that's kind of what I want to sing about. And this first song is called "Come and Tear Down the Walls," and yeah, come and tear down the walls. And this one, I think I've connected with as this really beautiful prayer of just asking God to come into my heart and to tear down the walls that are within my heart. Some of them I build because, it's the walls of my heart are things that I've built to kind of protect myself. They've been survival strategies that have served me well, because we all need to survive sometimes. But when it comes to our relationship with God and our relationships with the people closest to us, being guarded and being closed off isn't how we want to be, isn't the thing that serves us well. And so we ask God to come in and tear down the walls of our heart, because He does deserve every piece of who we are. And so that's where this song comes from. So come and tear down the walls. Come and tear down the walls I've built up. Every wall I've built up, every wall I've built up, 'cause you deserve every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart. Come and tear down the walls I've built up, every wall I've built up, every wall I've built up, 'cause you deserve every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart. And Lord, I am trusting that you are a faithful Father, and all that you have, it is good. You're a generous giver, your love's like no other. Won't you come and break through to me over and over and over again? I am bringing my heart to you with open hands. Closer and closer, you're drawing me in, as the depths of my heart lay before you again. Over and over and over again, I am bringing my heart to you with open hands. Closer and closer, you're drawing me in, as the depths of my heart lay before you again. Come and tear down the walls I've built up, every wall I've built up, every wall I've built up, 'cause you deserve every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart. Come and tear down the walls I built up, every wall I built up, every wall I built up, 'cause you deserve every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart, every piece of my heart. Amen. I love that song. Like I said, it just feels like a really authentic prayer to me, and I think some of that is because of my personality type and the kind of thing that I feel I need God's grace to experience growth in and to experience breakthrough in. My next song that I've got for us today is one I'm sure that I'm almost certain that none of you have heard it before, because it's one I've written, and I've only shared it with a few people so far. And this is a song that I chose to share today because it's something that I think, again, just really resonates with my heart as a type 5, my Enneagram type 5 heart. And this is a song I actually started writing a couple years ago, wrote parts of it and kind of got stuck and was like, I'll come back to it later. I've come back to it a few times over the last couple of years, and really sometime within the last month or so, came back to it again and just tweaked a couple lines, and it's starting to feel like, hey, this might actually be done. So you never know with a song. They can change. I wrote it. I can change whatever I want in it, right? But this is a song I started writing around the time my niece was born. So my niece Emmy, she's 2 years old. She turned 2 in May, so she's a little more than 2, and so I started to think like, oh, I would love to write her a lullaby, and so you just kind of, I imagine myself in that space of holding a sleepy or sleeping baby, and what would you sing over that little one, and I don't remember what I was reading at the time or listening to, but one of the things that really struck me was just this sense of of letting those little ones know that no matter what, they're loved. Right? That's such a core thing, that no matter what, they're loved. And so this is a lullaby that I wrote originally with my niece Emmy in mind. And then as I got into it, I realized that that's something that I feel the need to kind of hear in my own heart as well, and to hear God speak, God sing over my own heart. And so here's the song, this little lullaby, You Are Loved. You are loved, and you are enough. Let your heart be known. Have no fear, for the light is near. You are not alone. May you know peace, may you know joy, may you find life in rest. May you be strong, may you be brave, may you find happiness. You are loved, and you are enough. Let your heart be known. That last little line there was probably one of my big breakthroughs writing and thinking from my own heart recently. Again, talking about the thing that one of the growth spaces is, let your heart be known. And that's a thing that I'm growing in, And I think if that's something that resonates with you of being open-hearted as feeling like if you feel like God's calling you into that, or that's something that you want to grow in, I would encourage you in that and say like, yeah, go for it. I would also say that like you don't have to just like go, open up the very depths of your heart to the next person you see or to a crowd of people or on Facebook Live or whatever. But you can find the people in your life who are trusted, who are precious to you, and you can begin to practice open-heartedness with those people. And that I believe, and I have experienced that will bear fruit. And so that's an encouragement to you from me. Also, as we kind of wrap up our time today, we've been looking at a series of songs by an artist called Sleeping at Last. And so we're going to head into the song from Sleeping at Last around the Enneagram number 5. And just before we do, let me check in on our comments here. Yeah, hey Ed, hey Carrie. Anyway, so with that, let's hear this song around the Enneagram Type 5 from Sleeping at Last.
I wanna break it into pieces small enough to understand and put it all back together again in the quiet of my private collection. It feels like an out-of-body experience. Something gets lost from a safe distance, and I can't put my mind to rest, and I can't help but second guess living behind this one-way mirror. I'm hypnotized by this anomaly, such strange uncharted territory. A white flag as if I could let myself be seen, even deeply known, like I was already brave enough to let go. And now I wanna generously lose this energy that I've been hanging on to so desperately. I finally feel the universe expand. It's hidden in heartbeats, exhales, and in the hope of open hands.
Well, again, it's wonderful to be with y'all on this Wednesday morning. I hope you enjoyed that song from Sleeping at Last. Yeah, so again, hey, good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Blanche. Thanks so much, Mary, for your encouraging words. Yeah, so I guess my encouragement for us today as we go from our time together is is to live open-hearted, to find ways, to find people with whom to be open-hearted, so that can be something we all grow in. I would also just remind everyone that if you're interested in these songs from Sleeping at Last, there's a link to them on our website, summitdurango.org, and if you go into the resources tab at the top of the page, then there's an Enneagram resource page, and on that page there's a link to all of these songs on YouTube. I also would remind you that this coming Sunday is our first Sunday where our service live streams at 9 a.m. So I know we've been a 9:30 a.m. crew for a long time, but we're going to be moving things to 9 to hopefully allow things to flow and align a little bit better with kind of some scheduling things that are in the works. And so just a reminder that this coming Sunday, which is August 16th, our Sunday morning live stream is at 9 a.m. and it will be moving forward. So set that in your brain, 9 a.m. And so again, wonderful to be with you, and we'll see y'all then.